Hello, I am Lyle Lott, and today I am wasting my girlfriend's time by explaining Warhammer lore to her.
Hi, I'm the girlfriend.
The lore we're going to be going over is the Primarchs, who are the sons of the Emperor of Mankind. The Emperor of Mankind he rules mankind. That's his
The
job.
ultimate man.
Yeah. This is our table of contents here.
Oh
what we're
boy.
going to be going over. So the Primarchs are the Emperor's 20 immortal superhuman sons bred from tubes and made with the secrets he learned from the gods of chaos.
Okay.
Yeah. Intense stuff. The Emperor is called a perpetual because he can't die. And he's a psyker, which means he has psychic powers.
Okay.
He can control stuff with his mind, shoot out energy blasts. He can't die, and he's like 8 feet tall. He has gold armor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A giant claw power fist.
What? It's a claw and a fist?
It's a claw that you can put into a fist.
Okay.
It's
like
a
a
giant
paw? Like claws?
Yeah, I guess it's like a giant metal hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Man, this guy knows how to dress.
Yeah. Before we get into the Primarchs, I'm going to explain the timeline of Warhammer to you. So first is the Age of Terra. That starts from the first millennium until the 15th millennium. Humanity dominated the Milky Way galaxy, colonized like every planet. Saturn, Mars, Pluto,
Uranus?
all of them. Uranus. Yep. They conquered everything, and then they began to try and colonize other planets during the Age of Technology, but it was kind of slow because you would get in your ship and it'd take like a decade to get to a planet.
Oh.
So
Didn't have light speed stuff?
no, they invented warp drive, which started the golden age of technology because warp drive could bend time and space and basically bring you from one part of the galaxy to another. And that's when they started to colonize other galaxies beyond the Milky Way. And that's when they first ran into aliens. Alien wars started.
Immediately?
Basically.
Dang,
Yeah.
didn't even like parlay? No peace offerings?
Well,
no trade?
eventually there was peace.
Oh.
Got established. The Golden Age continued. They invented faster ships, bigger ships, AI.
Nice.
They
Wait. They created AI after conquering the galaxy?
well, as they were doing it, they invented AI, but like it was
Dang.
AI that is like
Like sci-fi AI.
sci-fi
Okay,
AI, not like
alright.
our AI.
I was gonna say, like, that's not looking good for us.
No, it was like sci-fi intelligent life. And then they had, I think, what's it called? It's like an SPC or something like that.
Supercomputer?
It's a supercomputer that can print anything. Like it can print all their technology, everything they need, power armor, different guns, ships even. It could...
So it was like a super cool 3D printer.
Yeah, and this was really good, but then it also was really bad. It led to the Age of Strife because the AI, something happened, and humans went to war with the AI.
What happened?
What
happened?
What happened? We don't know.
No.
It's in the lore. It's the lores. We don't know what started it.
Oh.
But anyway, we went to war with the AI, and those printers or whatever, those were like all destroyed in the wars. Like there are a couple around, which are super rare. That's like one of the main missions of humanity, trying to find those again.
Wait, but why don't they just rebuild them? The schematics?
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
The AI, they relied on the AI to basically have all their blueprints and everything.
Oh.
So when the AI turned evil,
Yo.
they lost
They didn't
everything.
even have a flash drive? These
No.
guys didn't even back up their information?
Well,
no
they
one thought of printing?
Yeah. So after
Maybe
all
they
that,
deserved that Age of Strife.
yeah, during the Age of Strife, they lost a lot of their technology. They lost the ability to travel between planets, and then also warp storms happened, which they're warp drives. you would go into the warp, it'd like bend time and space, but sometimes you'd end up in a different time, like 100 years in the past, 100 years in the future, or your ship would just get destroyed, or there are things that live in the warp, like eldritch horror type of stuff, and so those things were attacking, and so the Age of Strife was just a hodgepodge of shit that happened.
5 millenniums of shit.
Humans started to mutate and become mutants.
Because they were stranded in different planets.
They were stranded all across, and then the warp changed people, it changes you. And then psychers, this was kind of in the age of technology, psychers started to appear more frequently, which are like humans with psychic powers. And that's a little bit because of the warp, it affects people, and it can give you weird mutations or powers, or different stuff can happen. Usually it's bad. Some people just naturally have it. I think in Warhammer, everyone has a little bit of psychic ability, but some have super psychers, yeah. So after all that, in the Age of Strife, humanity was splintered across galaxies, no more communication, and then the Age of the Imperium starts. And during that, the Emperor, he's been alive for a lot of this, but he finally revealed himself, and he united Earth, and his goal was to find all the lost human planets and unite them together, which started the Great Crusade, which is them going to different planets and bringing them into the Imperium.
Okay.
And the Emperor also created the Astropathicum, which is psychers using their ability to navigate the warp so they can find safe routes in the warp to help people travel.
All right.
And he also invented the Space Marines.
Nice.
Who are those big, bulky...
Meat boys,
yeah.
I can't believe it took how many millennium? 30 millennium?
Yeah.
Before they came up with Space Marines?
Well...
Trump already came up with Space Force. He's 30 millennium
The Space Marines are superhumans. They have 2 hearts, 3 lungs.
Oh, God. So they're like cows. They got 4 stomachs too.
Yeah, they're the Emperor used some of his own DNA, and he enhances humans, but it's a really messy procedure. It can only be done on really young kids. You cut them open, and you give them the extra organs, and you change their DNA and all that, and it makes them grow to 7 feet tall. They get really roided out.
Yeah.
During this, some of them die. I don't think most of them, a lot of them die. So you need really young kids that are really healthy to be a Space Marine.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah.
How old are these kids? Toddlers?
Too
old?
Just
babies.
Teenager, as they just become teenagers.
Oh, so preteens.
Preteens, yeah. Around there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's the age, maybe a little younger than
Do they get to choose?
No. Well, it's a big honor, so you would really want to be a Space Marine if you could, because most of the planets people live on aren't that great. Unless you're living in a really fancy society, you're probably going to want to be a Space Marine, because you're probably...
It's the only way out.
Yeah, you're living in a really bad
Very much like regular
place.
Marines, huh?
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
Nothing changes in the future. Exactly.
Hey, look at this guy.
During the age of the Imperium, the Emperor created the Primarchs, who are his children. And the children of the Emperor were created with his own knowledge of technology, but he also went to the warp, and he made a deal with the Chaos Gods. The Chaos Gods are the gods of disease, pleasure, fate, or magic, and war. And he made a deal with them. They gave him knowledge of how to create the Primarchs. I'm not sure what they got in this deal, but they...
Lots of death, probably.
Yeah, and
lots of chaos.
So they made a deal with him, and he got the knowledge to create the Primarchs. But what happened was they realized if he unites all the humans, his big plan is to get rid of religion. and that would weaken their power.
Oh no.
Because they're gods and they get power from people worshipping them.
Right.
And they're like, oh, we fucked up. We can't let them create these Primarchs because they'll destroy us forever. Or at least really weaken us. And so when he was making the Primarchs, they used their magic and they created warp portals. And they couldn't destroy them because he put protection and magic on them. But as they were being born and created, they opened portals and scattered them across the universe. So they couldn't destroy them, but they decided to take them away from the Emperor and just scatter them everywhere.
Okay. And
so then the Emperor had to go out, do the Great Crusade by himself, and as he did so, he slowly discovered all of his sons again. They all landed on human planets.
How convenient.
Yeah, it was pretty convenient. But most planets were conquered by humans, and then, or at least a lot. And then the first son to be discovered was Horus Lupercal. Horus is the Emperor's favorite son because he was his first to be found. He's the leader of the 6th Legion, known as the Luna Wolves.
Ooh!
And they eventually became the Sons of Horus, and then they became the Black Legion, so...
Dang! These guys have such cool names.
Horus, for as good as he was, he's also bad at marketing, because they're good names, but he keeps changing the names.
That's true.
So
you don't give him time to build brand loyalty.
Yeah, he changes his mind a lot, very flip-floppy on all these names.
He's a fickle boy.
Yeah. And he grew up on, I don't really know how to say this, but...
Sithonia?
Sithonia?
Cathonia?
Cathonia, Sithonia. And it was a hive planet, which means there's just billions and billions of people on it.
Oh, okay. I was scared it was a bug.
No. It's built like everyone's packed together.
Oh.
And...
like a cyberpunk dystopia?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's most planets in Warhammer.
Oh, no.
Sithonia is a planet ruled by Gaines, and Horus, all the Primarchs became adults within a couple days after their pods open up. Some take a little bit longer, but they usually age pretty fast. Horus joined a Gain with the overlord named Kagadon. They had this big war. Horus killed a Adeptus Mechanicum a priest of the Mechanicum, who are these machine men that build all the weapons for the Imperium.
Okay.
He killed one, and then it started this Gain war, and the Emperor heard about the Mechanicum priest being killed, and he went there, and he found Horus, and that's how he found Horus. He brought him back to Earth, or Terra, as it's called.
Did he bring Horus's gang of Kakadon guys?
I'm gonna get to that.
Oh.
The Kagadon, he died, but Horus's gang were allowed to become Space Marines. If there are some people, when they're an adult, they can be enhanced, but it's very risky. But the Emperor was around back then, so he was able to take the men Horus that were alive from his gang, and he made them part of Horus's Legion. That happens to some of the other Primarchs, some of the people become Space Marines with them, and so some of Horus's gang became Space Marines with him. And then the second son to be found was Leman Russ.
Leman Russ. He's
Leman Russ. He is called the
I'm sorry. What? Yif within, Yif without, the Great Wolf?
Yeah, he's called the Great Wolf.
The furries love this guy.
They do. He's the second Primarch and leader of the 6th Legion, known as the Space Wolves, because he was found on Fenris. He was raised by wolves, adopted by wolves. He was then discovered by humans. He hunted with wolves. They attacked and raided villages. Then a village killed some of the wolves, and they found him, and they taught him how to be a human. And he basically conquered Fenris after he started fighting with the humans. And the Emperor found him after he became the king of Fenris, and the Emperor challenged him to a fight. Well, he asked him to join him.
Yeah.
And Leman Russ said no, and then he said, all right, if you can beat me at these challenges, I'll join you. So the first challenge was drinking, which Leman Russ won.
Oh.
The second one was eating.
Wait, how? Because isn't the Emperor an immortal? Couldn't he just, like, keep drinking without worrying about his liver?
All the Primarchs are immortal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All of them have part of the Emperor's power.
Okay.
So he beat him at drinking. The next contest was eating that he beat him at. And then the third was fighting, and the Emperor easily beat him. So he's like, those other two weren't really a big deal, so I'm gonna join you, because...
Maybe he realized, if I fuck with this guy, he's gonna beat me. Like, for real this time.
Yeah. And so then Leoman Russ became the leader of the Space Wolves, and all of his legion are modified furry warriors.
Yo!
They have wolf blood. Well, they have Leoman Russ's DNA in them, and some of them are kind of mutated, and they kind of look more like wolf men. They all have, like, sharp teeth.
Bro.
Big, hairy dudes.
Do they have snouts?
No.
So they're not full furry.
They're not full furry.
So they're like cat girls, but, like,
they're
big boys.
Big wolf boys. Yeah.
Alright.
They're space wolves.
See, I'm digging Warhammer right now. They have so much representation. Everyone has something here.
Everyone's represented, yeah. Then the second Legion Primarch was the third to be discovered. We don't know anything about him.
Oh.
He did something that all knowledge of him was erased.
Dang.
From existence.
That bad, huh?
Yeah. The Emperor wiped him out. No more second Legion, no more Primarch.
Wow. Is the Emperor a proud man?
He's pretty proud of himself.
Maybe he made a joke the Emperor did not appreciate.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We don't know.
So that's my headcanon.
Okay.
He made a joke the Emperor just couldn't take. It was too real.
Yeah.
It was too close to home.
The next Primarch, the fourth one to be discovered, was Horus Manus.
Cool.
Leader of the 10th Legion and the Iron Hands.
Nice.
Horus Manus, in Latin, translates to Iron Hands.
So he named the Legion himself.
Well, not just that. When his pod teleported through the warp, he landed on Medusa, was the planet's name. And when he grew up, he wrestled a silver wyrm, like dragon thing.
Yeah.
Dragged it into molten lava.
Dang!
And as it was melting, its skin fused with his arms.
Wow.
And melted onto his arms. And so his hands and arms are iron, or like a super iron from the dragon he killed.
Dang.
So his name is Iron Hands, he has iron hands, and he named his army Iron Hands.
I am so confused. How the hell did he get iron hands from a wire? Was the wire...
It was a weird monster thing.
Was it metal? Was
it
a robot
it was like
dragon?
It wasn't a robot, it was just like its scales were
magic.
This special material that when it melted, it just like... It should have burned him, but since he's a Primarch, it didn't. It just sort of like encrusted his arms.
Can he move his fingers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's a master blacksmith.
You would think.
He makes weapons, but instead of using a hammer, he just uses his hands.
Of course.
To pound the weapons.
Yeah.
Into
whatever
shapes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And he's a pretty cool Primarch. He wasn't around very long, so that's some foreshadowing.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. But he was best friends with Fulgrim, the next Primarch to be discovered.
Look at that hair.
I know. Fulgrim was the 5th Primarch found, and he's the leader of the Emperor's Children. He was on the planet Chemos, which is this mining planet. It was in perpetual twilight from all the smog, all the dirt, all the grime.
They didn't listen to Captain Planet.
No. And when he grew up, he turned it into a thriving world. He conquered it, and then he's like, hey, no more of all this garbage. We want to improve ourselves. We want to make ourselves as good as we can. And so he turned the planet around. He conquered it.
He's solar energy?
No, he just like made it less shitty to live there. I didn't read too deep into it. It just says he took it over, he revolutionized it, made it better.
I'm gonna imagine solar punk. That's what they did. They put solar panels everywhere, wind farms, nuclear power, and they just have flowers everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he...
Sometimes dictatorships are a good thing, evidently.
And when the Emperor found him, Fulgrim instantly recognized that he was his father, and that the Emperor was, in Fulgrim's mind, perfect in every way.
Wow.
And so Fulgrim pledged himself to the Emperor. He wanted to become as perfect as the Emperor was.
Oh no, a perfectionist.
That's the hair, the beautiful hair he has, and his armor's purple. His
nice.
Purple and gold.
Ooh.
And all of his soldiers wear purple and gold.
All right.
He has an eagle chest plate, which is the symbol of the Emperor. He's the only legion allowed to use that.
Wow.
Because he asked the Emperor's permission to use it, and the Emperor said yes.
Because he's cool.
Yeah, and so Fulgrim, that's a big honor that he's the only one to wear the Emperor's symbol. That's why they're called the Emperor's children.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Good on you, Fulgrim.
Mm-hmm. And next is Vulcan. He was the 6th Primarch discovered and the leader of the 17th Legion, known as the Salamanders.
Ooh!
Because on his...
Salamanders are cool.
He was found on the fire planet world Nocturne. All the people there kind of look like him. They all have dark skin and red eyes. They're
spooky.
Yeah, the planet, for whatever reason, living on a fire planet does that to you. I guess.
I don't know. I mean, I get the dark skin, but the red eyes?
It's fire. Fire gets stuck in your eyes. You can't rub it out.
They got like a fire in their soul.
Yeah.
And the eyes are like a window to the soul. Mm-hmm. Dang.
And so the planet was overrun with giant dragon salamanders.
Nice.
And then Dark Eldar would raid the planet. But Vulcan,
What is Dark Eldar?
Dark Eldar are basically space elves.
Oh. So like dark elves.
Yeah, dark elves.
Oh.
And Vulcan led a rebellion, and he got the Eldar to stop raiding their world. He killed 100 of them by himself, and he taught the people not to hide from their dictators. And then the Emperor found him, and Vulcan... Every time the Emperor finds people, he doesn't just say he's the Emperor. He comes in a disguise.
To
first.
Test them.
Yeah.
Cool.
And usually some of them just submit, but like Leman Russ and Vulcan, they challenged him to a test. And Vulcan's test was they needed to hunt the salamanders that live on the planet. Mm-hmm. So they went out. They had to make a weapon and then hunt the salamander with it. They both made these beautiful hammers, or I think...
And sickles?
Yeah.
And established communism.
And so they
the
hunted...
truly evil thing.
They hunted salamanders. Vulcan found a big one. He killed it. But as he was bringing it back, he tripped and he fell.
Oh no.
And then he was hanging on a cliff.
Oh no.
Holding his dead salamander.
In the other hand.
Mm-hmm. And it was over a pit of lava.
Oh my god. How do you trip so hard to put yourself in this situation?
It just happens sometimes on a fire planet. And so the Emperor came, and he had a salamander that was way bigger than Vulcan's. Emperor threw the salamander down, saved Vulcan, and then even though his salamander was bigger, he sacrificed it to save his son. And then Vulcan went back to the village, and he was like, you know what? That was a pretty cool thing you did. I'm gonna swear fealty to you. I'm gonna fight for you as your... And then Emperor took off his disguise, and he was like...
Psych, I'm your dad.
I'm your dad. And Vulcan was like, whew, that's pretty cool, Dad.
That's pretty cool, Dad.
Yeah, and so then they were reunited, and he joined the Great Crusade to unite humanity again.
These guys are pretty cool, you know?
Yeah.
Like, looking at the art for Warhammer, I always assumed these guys were all meanies. But, like... These all sound like great people.
Yeah. Next is Rogel Dorn. He is the Emperor's champion.
Ooh.
He's the 7th Primarch, and he leads the 7th Legion, called the Imperial Fists. And he was raised on an ice world called Inuit.
Ooh. There
were ice storms, and he'd give someone frostbites in seconds.
Oh no, that's
They were outside, and due to the harsh environment, the people were very tough, and they had their own empire that they built among the stars. Dorn grew up, he basically conquered it.
Dang, these guys conquer worlds like it's nothing.
Yeah, Well, I think he actually was taken in by a group, he rose through the ranks and he became the leader.
Oh,
he didn't like kill a bunch of people to get there.
He earned it.
He kind of earned it. And then the Emperor found him and he was like, wow, this is pretty cool. The Emperor was impressed.
I'm proud of you, son.
The Emperor found him. He said, are you winning, son? And he saw that
yes, father.
Yeah, Rogodorn had his own little empire, and then the Emperor convinced him to join the Imperium. The Emperor was happy because there were humans out there that were still finding ways to conquer planets and get together.
Nice.
And
following their roots.
Yeah. Dorn's also the best strategist, I guess. The Emperor, during the middle of the Great Crusade, he asked him to come back home, and his job was to fortify the palace of Earth, of the Emperor's throne castle area.
Is the Emperor on Earth, or is he somewhere else?
He for a long time led the Great Crusade and found a lot of his sons, and then once most of his sons were found, he gave the title of War Master to Horus. So Horus led the crusade, conquering planets, and the Emperor, he had the job of going back to Terra, and he wanted to go to Terra because he had a plan to make a machine or make... he was using his psychic powers to make the warp safe for travel, so there wouldn't be warp storms, there wouldn't be chaos, demons coming
where
through.
all the issues started.
Yeah, so he was trying to do that, but he didn't tell anyone that's what he was doing because he didn't want word getting out. He didn't want someone to try and sabotage it. So he kept it very secret. Nobody knew except like the people working on the project. And
top secret FBI.
Yeah, and that's also why he asked Dorn to come back and fortify the palace because he didn't want any risk of his work being interrupted. Next is Rabute Guilliman.
Rabute Guilliman.
Rabute Guilliman.
Rabute.
Yeah, he was the 8th Primarch discovered and leader of the 13th Legion called the Ultramarines.
Ooh!
And he was raised on Macragge, part of a star empire that was kind of falling into ruin. He was found by the nobles of the planet, the Guillimans, and he was taught warfare and given powers over their army once he proved that he was
capable,
a good warrior. Yeah, and like Dorn, he's a really good strategist. He pledged allegiance to the Emperor pretty quickly, gave his empire to the Emperor. He's from Macragge, but then like I think there's somewhere called Ultramar. I think Ultramar is, I forget why it's called Ultramar. I think it's the
like super sea planet?
I think it's the system of the planets his empire conquered. Like that's called Ultramar.
Oh.
The planet he was on was Macragge, but then the empire was called Ultramar. So that's why they're the Ultramarines. Not just because they're ultra, because it's named after Ultramar.
No, it's because they're ultra.
Yeah, it's also because they're ultra. And they're all decked out in blue. They're blue and gold instead of the purple.
Nice.
Yeah. Vulcan.
So they're the guys on the box art.
Yeah, they're the generic, regular Marines.
What? Why are they the generic guys if they're called Ultramarine?
Because they're just like the most common, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay, Rabude.
They're like the most loyal to the Emperor. They're the most like
they're
by
zealots.
the book. They're like the police.
They're paladins.
Yeah, they're paladins, basically. And then there's Magnus the Red.
Oh my god, look at that. Look at this dude! If I saw this dude, I could not stop laughing. He'd probably kill me for laughing at him.
He's known as the Red Cyclops because his skin is all red, his hair is all red.
He's got a sunburn.
He only has one eye.
What, really?
Yeah, because psychic stuff. His one eye's blind, but he can see because he's a really powerful psyker.
You know what would be cool? If, like, his two eyes were blind, but that, like, ball jewel thing on his helmet was how he saw. So it'd be like you're opening your one eye. Bro, that'd be so cool. Anyway, his head looks really dumb. Like, at least the other guy's hair, like, that was cool. Like, it was flowing in the wind. But look at this guy. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Looks like a dork. You're
Yeah.
a dork, Magnus. Go on, though.
He's the 9th Primarch, and he was the leader of the Thousand Sons. He's a powerful psyker. Like I said, he was raised on Prospero and studied magic and sorcery and how to improve his psyker abilities. He's never done a single thing right in his entire life.
What?
He's the worst Primarch.
Bro, I'm glad. I mean, look at his head. He deserves to be the worst.
He fucks up everything he does.
Oh my god. You can tell by looking at him.
I'll get into that later, why he's such a big screw-up.
He was born that way.
But he studied magic. The Emperor said, hey, stop that.
Oh.
Because when you use psyker abilities, you're tapping into the power of the warp. And so the Emperor was like, that's dangerous, don't do that.
Yeah.
He did it anyways.
I'm a rebel, Dad.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
Next is Sanguinius, the angel.
Ooh. Wow. Dude looks like the statue of David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When his pod was traveling through the warp, it mutated him and gave him wings. He has angel wings.
He drank Red Bull.
He drank space Red Bull. Yeah. He's the 10th Primarch and the leader of the Blood Angels.
Ooh, edgy.
And he was raised on Baal Secundus. While traveling through the warp, he became an angel. Pretty simple guy. He was discovered. Emperor found him. He became the leader of his planet because they're like, there's this giant 7-foot tall demigod with angels.
Angel wings, yeah.
And so he's our leader, basically. He pledged fealty to the Emperor pretty quickly, and he became best friends with Horus, the first one to be found. They were close friends. And then there's...
Sanguinius has pretty privilege.
Yeah, he does.
My god.
Sanguinius is...
Sanguinius.
He's like Fulgrim. He's the pretty boy. They're the pretty boys of the Primarchs.
Yeah. But only one of them used that to their advantage. The other guy's like, I'm going to get up through my own strength of will. That's what it sounded like to me.
Okay, yeah. Next is Lionel Johnson. He is the leader of the Dark Angels. He was raised on Caliban, planet infested with monsters and aliens, and people that rule that planet are knights, the order called the Order. He led a crusade to kill all the beasts on the planet.
Wow.
There was a schism in the Order. Some of them didn't like Lionel.
Oh.
They killed all of them.
Why?
Because they were part of the old guard. They didn't want to...
They were boomers.
Shake things up. Yeah, they were
boomers.
They
were boomers. Sorry, boomers.
So Lionel became the leader of the Order of the planet.
No way, boomers. Sorry, go ahead.
And then he was found by the Emperor, and he joined the Emperor pretty quickly, like the others. The members of the Order became Space Marines, part of the Dark Angels, and that was a mistake.
Oh.
Get into that later.
We're getting into a lot of things later.
Foreshadowing, yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Next is Perturabo.
Ooh. And wow.
He's a machine man.
I don't like Perturabo.
He was found on Olympia, and he's leader of the Iron Warriors. On the surface of the planet, he could see a warp rift called the Eye of Terror. That is a place where the warp has like opened up a portal, and it looks like a big eye.
Like Sauron?
Yeah.
Cool.
And he conquered Olympia, led a bunch of victories. He's like Rogel Dorn, where instead Rogel Dorn's really good at fortifying castles, Perturabo's the best at sieging. Oh. So he's like the opposite of Rogel Dorn. He's really good at inventing weapons, and he loves knowledge and research.
Knowledge.
So he became kind of friends with Magnus the Red, because Magnus is a nerd and reads a lot. So they...
Even though he's a total disappointment.
Disappointment, yeah. Perturabo's probably the coolest Primarch in my opinion. He's
Really?
Yeah.
With all those holes in his
face?
This
is what makes him cool.
Oh god.
He has a bunch of machine guns on his arms. He's like a walking tank. He's just a giant tank.
Oh man.
And he's a strategist. He's the best.
Okay. If I saw this guy, I'd run away.
That's what makes him so cool.
Okay, fair. Yeah. Fair.
Next is Mortarion.
Ooh. This guy's like skull and head, skin and bones.
Yeah, his name means child of death.
Dang!
And he is leader of the Death Guard. His planet had a lot of toxic fumes in the air, Barbarous. He became friends with the leader of the planet, this tyrant baron guy who lived at the top of the world, basically above the toxic fumes. And then he had another castle, which was also very high up, but it's where the most toxic fumes are, which is it was a weird thing that, I don't know. Anyway, that's why he's like has all those pipes and stuff. He needs like a mask. I guess he doesn't need the mask to breathe, but he has one just because he lives on this planet with all these toxic fumes and everything. But since he's a Primarch, it didn't really bother him. He left the dictator, saw all the people in the world were suffering, and led a rebellion with them. But before he could defeat the leader, he went to an area of the planet where there were a lot of toxic fumes, and they were too much for even a Primarch. So Mortarion collapsed. And as he collapsed, the Emperor came in, saved him, and killed the dictator. So Mortarion swore loyalty to the Emperor, but he was kind of pissed off that he didn't get, that the Emperor stole his kill.
I would be too.
He's like, I wanted to kill that guy. I swore vengeance.
I lost my face for that guy.
Yeah, and he's like, well, he's kind of bitter about that. But he did become friends with Horus. Horus was like his best bud.
The Emperor will remember that.
Yeah.
That's going to come back later.
The Emperor said as long as he's loyal to Horus, he's loyal to me. Because
Horus is loyal to him.
Yeah, Horus is his favorite son.
Yeah.
His best bud.
Wouldn't it be ironic if Horus, turned double-crossed?
Maybe.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That's not possible, though, because Horus is the best favorite, the most loyal of loyal Primarchs.
That's the type of person you gotta watch out for. The people that are loyal, watch them like a hawk, because all of a sudden they'll stop.
The next Primarch is Lorgar Aurelian, leader of the Word Bearers. He grew up on the theocratic planet of Colchis, ruled by the Covenant, who worship the Chaos Gods. They're the most religious planet, ruled by priests. Lorgar was raised in their religion, but he began to believe in the One, who was a being above all beings, and he rejected the Chaos Gods, and he converted the entire planet in a crusade to believe in the One. And then the Emperor found Lorgar, and Lorgar knew that the Emperor was the one that he'd been waiting for, the one that was perfect and was a true god.
Wow.
And some of the leaders of the planet, leaders in the church, they didn't really like the new religion. But they were
I would guess not.
But they were, once they saw the Emperor, they were kind of like, well, he's kind of right.
Not too bad a choice.
Yeah, so some of the priests became word bearers. They became space marines. There was a bit of a conflict because part of the Great Crusade, the Emperor made the imperial truth, which outlawed religion.
Oh, yeah. Like a true atheist.
It wiped out, like, no one was supposed to worship gods or believe in religion because the Emperor thought that once humanity got rid of religion, humanity would reach their true potential. And Lorgar...
So he saw religion as, like Karl Marx said, opiate in the masses. Is that what he saw it as?
Yeah, I guess so.
Dang. Yeah. Emperor is, he's all over the place, this guy.
Yeah. And the Emperor told Lorgar that, hey, I am not a divine being. But
I'm just a guy.
Lorgar took that as, well, only the truly divine would say that they are not
Are you
divine.
kidding me? I'm not a murderer. Only a murderer would say that. Come on, Lorgar.
And so during the Great Crusade, all the Primarchs would like find planets, conquer them, and then bring them into the Imperium. That was the mission. But Lorgar was the slowest at conquering planets, because once he would conquer them, he would convert them all to his religion, and then he would move on to the next planet. And at first, when there were a bunch of planets to be found, the Emperor kind of let that slide. He's like...
Whatever, as long as you're doing the job.
His heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
He's teaching them all to be loyal to me. That's kind of okay. But then it got slower and slower at conquering planets. And the Emperor got really pissed off. So he sent Rubute Gilman to the planet of Kur or Monarchia, which the word bearers named the Perfect City. And he sent Rubute Gilman there, the Ultramarines, and they burned the city to the ground.
Dang.
And the Emperor forced Lorgar and the word bearers to watch as the city burned. And then the Emperor used his psychic powers, and he forced the word bearers and Lorgar to kneel before him as they watched the city burn. And he told Lorgar that what he did was a mistake, and it dishonored the Emperor, and it dishonored humanity.
Now imagine your god telling you that. That's gotta hurt.
And then after that, Lorgar...
I'm disappointed in you, son.
He stopped worshipping the Emperor, and then he went on a sabbatical.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
I would too. I'd be tired. Yeah.
Next is Jagahati Khan.
Yo, this guy looks like Jafar.
He's an
Jafar's genie form.
He is a leader of the White Scars. He grew up on an anime planet.
No way.
Planet
Vegeta? Ah! Or Planet Plant?
Vegeta. It's called Planet Plant.
No, it's Vegeta.
It's also called Planet Vegeta.
Like vegetation?
Yeah. He's a samurai.
What?
He's basically a Hun. Like, they're all Mongolians. They all ride horses and
but they're also samurai.
They're all samurai Huns. They're the Asian Space Marines. They're anime guys.
Yeah.
He conquered his planet, trained in warfare. He conquered a big empire on his planet. And then the Emperor came and was like, hey, want to join me? And Khan was kind of pissed off because he didn't want to be a servant to anyone.
Yeah.
But he recognized the imperial truth, the no religion thing, and that the Emperor would be a benefit to his world, and that joining the Imperium would be the best thing for the humans on the planet. So he swore fealty to the Emperor.
Wow. These guys are pretty based. I mean, like, everything they do is like, how can we benefit humanity?
Yeah.
Like, they're strong enough to take over whole planets, but they're like, I'm not going to just screw over to people here. I'm not just going to make them all, like, miserable slaves. I just want them to have good lives. How can I do that? These guys are pretty cool. This guy is sus. This guy is suspicious.
This is Conrad Kurz. He was born on Nostrama. Or not born, he was found there. He became the leader of the Night Lords.
Ooh!
And,
man, these names are so good.
Yeah. And his planet is an eternal darkness, the eternal night. Which leads to the entire planet. Their pupils are
dilating,
giant.
Yeah.
Like, they're all black because they needed to pick up as much light as possible. There wasn't a sun. Like, the planet was shrouded in darkness. And so it was ruled by gangs. When Conrad got old enough, he would deal out punishment by killing the worst criminals and leaving them strewn up, hanging, like, nailed to walls. Just, like, would leave a message that criminals and murder and rape was not allowed. He'd, like, kill them all, leave them to be found in public places and that.
Yeah.
So he became the leader of the planet, but he wasn't, like, making laws and stuff. He'd just kill anyone that did anything.
Yeah, so it's like, my word is law. Yeah. Deal with it. All right.
And then the Emperor found him, brought him in the Imperium, and all of the Primarchs, most of their legions, their Space Marines, are found from the planets they were born at. And they find new recruits, turn them into Space Marines. Conrad hated his legion because they were all from his planet. And he's like, I know how shitty all of you are. I know you're all rapists and murderers.
Dang.
You shouldn't be Space Marines.
Yeah.
And so he hated all of his Night Lords.
Yeah.
He would also have visions. He'd he'd have an epileptic seizure, have a vision of the future, and it kind of drove him a little crazy.
Yeah.
But his legion was one of the most brutal because they just go into planets, kill people, like basically what he did on his planet.
Yeah.
Like they just kill anyone that stepped out of line in the most brutal ways possible.
Yeah.
The other Primarchs didn't really like him because of that, because they're like, we're here to just like bring people into the Imperium. You're just like
murdering,
slaughtering people left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it turns out that like that guy, what's his name again?
Conrad.
Conrad himself is a good person, but his methods taught his soldiers to be absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
And he can't stop them? He's their boss.
Well, Conrad thought that as long as they're bringing planets into the Imperium, it's fine.
The greater good.
It's for the greater good.
Oh,
and then,
come on, Conrad.
But he didn't want any more people from his homeworld becoming Night Lords or Space Marines. So in the middle of the Great Crusade, he went back to his planet, and he saw that it devolved back into lawlessness.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he destroyed the atmosphere of the planet.
Damn.
And killed everyone there.
Damn.
Basically glassed it. He's like, no one else from this planet will become Space Marines. And he destroyed his homeworld.
God damn. Jesus, Conrad.
Yeah.
You didn't even go down and check to see if anyone decent was around?
He did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He looked and he's like, nah, it's still where it was before I was here.
Well, at least he looked.
Yeah.
He did a Sodom and Gomorrah, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Oh, jeez. Mm-hmm. Oh, God, look at this guy.
Yeah,
this is the most alien-looking dude.
This is Angron.
Straight out of that game with Shepard.
I don't know that.
Something Andromeda. Mass Effect. This is straight out of Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angron, leader of the World Eaters. He was found on the planet, and they found, oh, this is a really strong dude. And they made him a slave. Oh. They made him fight in the slave pits.
Oh, dang.
Of Nuceria, the planet. And there's a tradition for the gladiators. They get butcher's nails, which is those tubes on his head.
Oh, shit, that's not hair?
No. They nail these big spikes into your skull.
Holy fuck.
And they pinpoint parts of the brain that target adrenaline and anger.
Holy shit.
So it basically turned him into a berserker.
All the time.
Yeah, constantly. All the time. Constantly angry, constantly adrenaline.
He can't go to sleep.
He can go to sleep, but he's pissed off all the time.
Bro, Angron? More like Agron. The dude's aggressive.
Yeah. And so eventually he let her...
Oh, because he's angry. His name, he's angry. Angry Ron.
Yeah.
I just got it.
Yeah. Yeah, and he led a revolt against the slave masters. Before he could completely free all the people, the Emperor found him and basically knocked him out and took him back with him.
Didn't even ask?
No, he like teleported him onto his ship, and he was like, you're coming with me. You're my son.
I don't care about all these slaves you're trying to free.
Yeah.
I take it back. Emperor is not as based as I thought.
So Angron was kind of pissed about that for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, you do all this work to try and save your people, and your dad's like, psych.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm. Next
Finally,
is...
a regular-looking dude. Jeez, it's been so long.
Next is Corvus Corax, the Raven Lord. He's leader of the Raven Guard.
I'm sorry. He's a Raven Lord?
Yeah.
I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, this dude is like Hot Topic. This is a Hot Topic boy.
See, like he has raven skulls on his armor.
He's emo.
Yeah.
Cool.
He was raised on the moon of Lycaeus, a forge mine world. He was able to hide from everyone. Nobody knew he existed for a long time. He hid from the overseers and the slave masters, and he led a rebellion against them.
Cool.
Before he could complete it, the Emperor found him, and they talked for a while. Nobody knows what they talked about, but the Emperor let him liberate his people.
Oh, what? They do it for this, but not Angry Ron?
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess Emperor learned his lesson after Angron, because Corvus was found right after him, so
they didn't like backtrack. They're like, "Sorry, Angron, that wasn't very poggers of me. I'm gonna
that
go
wasn't
back."
very cash money.
Very isn't cash money.
Yeah. No, I don't think the Emperor ever apologized.
Damn.
But
he's like, I refuse to admit I was wrong.
Yeah.
Poor angry Ron.
Yeah, and also another thing about Angron, I think they might have been able to take the nails out of his head.
Oh.
Like they had the technology, but Angron refused because he's like, I was born a slave, and this is in memory of that I'm a warrior, and I'm gonna stay that way. And then he got all of his Space Marines to have the butcher's nails.
Yeah. Dang.
And so they're all berserkers.
They're all pissed off.
Yeah.
I don't know about his logic there.
It was more complicated than that, but I am paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But
it's a bit much.
Then Corvus Corax led a rebellion, liberated his planet, and he's like a sneaky guy. He's the sneakiest.
He's the rogue.
He's the rogue, yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Then there's
unknown number 2.
Another unknown. This is the 19th. Is leader of the 11th Legion. Like the other guy, we don't know anything about him. He was wiped from history.
Another bad joke.
He
criticized the Emperor. He was like, what you did to Angry Ron was kind of screwed up, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And the Emperor was like, die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never wrong. I'm the Emperor.
Yeah. And the last Primarch to be found is...
This is the guy from all those animations.
Which guy?
This guy.
What animations?
Those animations where the Warhammer guys fight the furries.
No, this isn't that guy. But he's they're wearing helmets. This is the only guy wearing a helmet in this picture.
He looks like them.
He's the leader of... He's called the Hydra, or the Lord of Serpents. He's Alfarius Omegon. And he was either the first Primarch found or the last Primarch found. The stories differ. Some say that Horus found him. Horus's ship was raided by pirates, and they got all the way to the control room, and it was led by Alfarius, and then they recognized each other, and Alfarius joined Horus in the crusade. But maybe that didn't happen. Some people say that Alfarius was the first one found, and he was found by the Emperor. So there's some muddled history there. We're not really sure.
Okay.
Most people say the Horus story's true, but then there's a secret to Alfarius and the Alpha Legion, and that is that Alfarius actually is a twin. Alfarius and Omegon are two different people.
Oh.
They're two Primarchs. They keep it secret that there's two of them because they're the Hydra. You kill one, another to take its place sort of thing. So they also get their own men to disguise themselves as Alfarius. They'll like wear his armor and pretend to be him. So you never know where Alfarius is, what he's doing. And he loves subterfuge and like spying on people and... Yeah.
Like a snake.
Yeah.
Cool.
After a while, like I said before, the Emperor gave Horus the title of War Master. And Horus, because Horus was like the best fighter, the best leader, Emperor made him War Master, and they were best buds, best friends, until they weren't.
Oh my god! Holy shit! It's all coming together.
Then something happened. Then the Fire Nation attacked.
Oh no.
Now we begin the Horus Heresy.
Oh shit!
The Emperor's favorite son was his greatest disappointment.
Oh.
Horus eventually was killed by the Emperor, but the Emperor was gravely injured in a battle with Horus.
Oh, man.
And we're going to get into where are all the Primarchs now? Where are they now?
Oh, boy.
What happened during the Horus Heresy?
What happened?
Well, the Emperor is now on life support.
Oh, shoot.
He fought Horus and barely survived. You know that thing the Emperor was building I told you about?
Yeah.
It was the Golden Throne, and it was going to keep the warp safe and keep chaos from destroying Terra, the human homeworld. So the Emperor's plugged into the Golden Throne. It's keeping him alive and draining his psychic powers so he can keep the warp safe around Terra. To keep him alive, the Imperium finds Psychers, a bunch of Psychers, and they sacrifice their power to the Emperor. So thousands of Psychers are sacrificed every day to keep the Emperor alive.
Like dead sacrifice? Not like lose psychic ability sacrifice?
No, they're drained of their psychic powers and like their heads explode.
Oh, shit.
They die giving their psychic power to the throne. And
it'll be good to have a religion around this.
That is what happens.
Oh,
people begin worshipping the Emperor after he fights Horus. They basically use all the books that Logar made, and they begin worshipping the Emperor as a god because he protected them from the evil that was Horus, and he protects them from the warp. And the warp does a lot of weird stuff. So if you're a Psyker and you have a really strong will or faith in something, if you can set your mind to something really powerful, you can take some power from it, or it gives you some power, and you basically get amplified. So people that worship the Emperor and their Psychers, they actually have powers from it. So people begin performing miracles in the name of the Emperor, and if you're a Psyker, you can actually do magic and stuff.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes the religion more believable.
Yeah. Self-perpetuating.
Yeah. And
dang, how ironic. This poor guy, he's like, I want to be the atheist king. And then fate was like, psych.
The other ironic thing is by keeping him alive in this way, he'll never fully recover. If they let him die, he'd probably just come back to life.
Oh.
But they're keeping him on the brink of death, and so he can't really heal from it. But he also needs to be on the chair, because if he stops powering the protection for a second, the warp's gonna cause a bunch of crazy shit on the Earth, and demons are gonna invade and all of that. So he can't leave the Golden Throne. And he's been on... So the Horus Heresy happened in the millennium of 30,000. Emperor's been there for 10,000 years. Just held on life support.
That really sucks.
What happened to Horus? He's dead. The Emperor killed him, and he obliterated his soul. The warp tore apart his soul and everything. And Abaddon, the Despoiler, his second in command, took over the Sons of Horus and made them the Black Legion.
Yeah.
So they're still around today, but they went into the Eye of Terror, that warp portal in the sky, the Sauron Eye. He traveled into that, and they come out every now and then to raid planets, and then they go back into the Eye of Terror. And
so they don't help the Empire anymore. They just...
No. They're at constant war. The reason Horus killed the Emperor, or tried to kill the Emperor, is because he thought the Emperor would become a god. That wasn't what the Emperor was doing, but Logar convinced Horus that was the Emperor's plan.
Okay.
And Logar went back to his old religion of the Chaos Gods and used them to give all the traitor Primarchs the power of the warp. And Horus was convinced the Emperor would try to become a god or make himself a god. So he tried to stop that. But in doing so, now the Emperor is worshipped as a god. So
he could have just asked. Communication. You were his favorite. He would have told you anything.
Yeah.
You could have been like, hey, Dad, do you plan on becoming a god even though you're an atheist?
Yeah.
Wow.
Next is Leman Russ.
Oh boy, furry man.
We don't know where he is. He disappeared, traveling into the Eye of Terror. He's said to be on a quest to find a cure for the Emperor and his Legion. His Legion believes he'll come back during the Yif time.
Oh no! No way! No way.
It's called the Wolf time.
The Yif time? Yeah. No, come on.
They call it the Wolf time, but God. We all know.
Tell me this was made before furries. We all know what Yif is here. I'm gonna go find medicine for my dying father, but call me when Yif time's on.
Yeah. And it's the Yif time's gonna be the final battle. The Yif time will be the final battle between good and evil, and that's when Leman Russ in all his furry glory is said to come back. He's gonna come back as an actual wolf man.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and they're all gonna Yif together.
No, don't say that. Oh God.
He's specifically looking to kill Magnus.
I don't blame him. I would too.
And he's trying to convince Korax, the sneaky guy, to join him in the Yif time. Because Korax...
Can we just say final battle, please?
He's trying to find everyone and make everyone be part of the Yif time. Stop. And all the space wolves are gonna Yif together.
Okay, fine.
They're gonna all Yif all over each other.
Oh God.
And they're finally gonna defeat the Chaos Gods by Yiffing.
I'm Yiffing for my daddy. Oh, that's what he's gonna say, Leman Ruff.
Yeah.
Leman Ruff. Oh my God.
Ferrus Manus.
Hey, Iron Man.
He died.
Oh no.
Got decapitated. His best friend Fulgrim tried to convince him to join Horus. He refused. And his best friend Fulgrim decapitated him.
Dang.
With a sword that Ferrus made for Fulgrim.
Bro, that's just disrespectful, man.
Yeah. Pretty sad.
This is how the empire of man dies. All empires must fall eventually. Yeah. You made friends with this dude and you thought nothing bad would happen?
Well, this is what Fulgrim looks like now.
Oh.
He joined Slanesh, the god of pleasure, and he became this giant snake demon prince. He tried to perfect himself, and now he lives on a pleasure planet with all of his emperor's children, and they all worship the god of pleasure. They do everything to find perfection and the purest form of pleasure possible. That's their...
So they just fuck all day.
Yeah.
Man, Fulgrim is such an asshole.
Yeah.
Wow.
And next is Vulcan. He died.
Oh no.
And then he came back.
Oh, okay.
Then he died again.
Oh no. Then he came back.
Yeah, but he came back. We don't know where he is now. The Salamanders believe he's going to come back and
one final time
in a crusade against chaos.
Let's hope.
So he's gone, missing somewhere. Unknown.
MIA.
Rogel Dorn. Nobody knows where he is. During the Horus Heresy, he flew his ship into a raid of a bunch of other chaos ships. He was outnumbered, but he led an attack. At the end of the battle, the only thing found was his hand. So it's kept in stasis and preserved. But they don't know where Rogel Dorn is. They never found his body.
Oh well.
So he could be out there.
Unlikely.
Somewhere. Robute Gilman is alive.
Looking like Caesar every time I see him.
That's basically what he is, yeah.
Oh!
Yeah. He was injured by Fulgrim in a fight. Fulgrim had a poison sword. Possessed sword, demon sword. So it's kind of... And he was in that snake demon form.
Yeah.
So kind of unfair fight.
Yeah, it'd be hard to fight.
So Gilman was injured, and he's been in stasis for 10,000 years, but he woke up.
Hey!
He finally woke up, and he saw the Empire, and he found out everyone's worshipping his dad, and he's very depressed now, and he thinks everything sucks.
It sure does, Robute.
Yeah, and he's married a space elf.
Hey.
He's friends with the space elf. But he still thinks everything sucks.
Yeah.
He's very sad that everyone worships him, and he met his dad again on the chair, and he realized the Emperor kind of just used all of us. He doesn't really care about us. And now I have to piece together this Imperium all by myself and try and stop a civil war from happening, because if he says the Emperor isn't a god, there's an entire structure called the Inquisition that kill anyone that say that.
Yeah.
So it would start a massive civil war between all the humans, which...
Not good.
Not good.
Yeah. I feel bad for him.
Magnus the Red...
That armor looks dumb.
During the Horus Heresy, Magnus found out that Horus was going to betray the Emperor. So Horus used his magic that the Emperor told him not to use. And he used his magic to send a powerful psychic message to the Emperor. But the problem was the Emperor used his own magic to make sure no psyker power could get into Terra.
Yeah.
So Magnus took all of his sorcerers together, and they're like, we need to warn the Emperor that Horus is coming, and he's going to try and kill him. So he got them all together, and he sent a psychic message to the Emperor, and it broke through the protection he made, and Emperor got the message. He didn't believe Magnus, because he was really pissed off that all the hard work he was doing to try and protect Earth from the warp, that all got destroyed when Magnus sent his message. So he had to start all over, and it took him a long time to do that. And because of that, that's also why he's stuck on the throne now.
Yeah.
If he had finished it, he wouldn't have to be on the throne. The warp would be protected. But Magnus fucked it all up. He sent the message.
Nobody likes Magnus.
Emperor got really angry, and then the Emperor sent Leman Russ to Yif, and he burned down Magnus's planet.
Ah!
So Magnus had to run away, like a little bitch.
Yeah.
And he sold his soul to Zeech, the god of fate. And that's why he has those wings now. He has big horns.
Looks like a dummy.
He has even more magic
He's
power.
Still a dummy.
He's still a dummy. And he sold his soul, and now he has to fight the Imperium, and yeah, he basically ruined everything. If he had just listened to his dad...
you had one job, Magnus.
He had one
Mind
job,
your own business,
and
stay in your lane.
He screwed that up.
Wow. You deserve that ugly armor, man. Everything about you sucks.
Sanguinius is dead.
No.
He was killed by Horus, his best friend, because he refused to join Horus in the Battle of Terra. And
so much for David.
Yeah, he died, but in the fight he chipped Horus's armor, which is what allowed the Emperor to land the killing blow on Horus. So he fought valiantly and did his duty.
Alright, cool. Rest in pieces, man.
Yeah, now he's dead.
Rest in peace.
He's dead, and his army, the Blood Angels, now they go into, like, berserker rages.
Oh, no.
Because they're really sad that their Primarch died.
Well, just pray.
Well, they also go into... Since they have his blood in him, they go kind of crazy. He kind of would go into rages, too, but not that frequently. But now his soldiers... will go into these blind rages, and they think they are him.
Oh.
And then they get mad that he's dead, and they kill a bunch of stuff. But they're still good guys.
Okay then.
Next is Lionel Johnson. He remember he was the knight guy?
I remember.
Well, his second in command, Luther, joined the Horus and all the heretics, and they betrayed Lionel Johnson, and they destroyed his homeworld. They stabbed him in the back, and Now he's asleep, recovering from his injuries, and only the elite of his Space Marines know this, and they're waiting for him to recover, and all of his Space Marines hunt the people that betrayed Lionel Johnson, and they're hunting them down to this day.
Wow.
Next is Perturabo.
Ugh.
He's alive and a demon prince now.
Oh,
He worships all the Chaos Gods.
Oh, no.
And he rules Medjugorje. And his Iron Warriors, they're just machine boys. They basically fight Rogel Dorn's guys a lot. That's their nemesis, I guess. And they just go around killing people. Perturabo stays on his planet. He's pretty happy just building death machines and he enslaves humans and stuff. He's alive though.
It feels like the planets were better off before these guys ever came.
Yeah, maybe.
Government
Government bad.
Government bad.
Yeah, Mortarion, he joined Horus because he was loyal to him more than the Emperor. He's alive, and he's currently worships the Plague God, Nurgle.
That's a dumb name. Nurgle.
He led a crusade against the Imperium, but he was stopped by Rubute Gilman.
Yeah.
He's a stinky boy now.
Ew.
He worships plagues and death and zombies and all that. He has wings now.
He's a mortician.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. He has a big scythe that he uses as a weapon. He's a pretty cool guy. Mm-hmm. But he's gross.
Yeah.
Next is Lordgar. He's still around.
Is he proud of what he's done?
He's pretty proud. It all went according to his plan.
Oh, shoot.
It all came together, and
oh, yeah.
He's still bald and ugly.
That's true.
But he worships the Chaos Gods, and he's pretty happy that he convinced half of the Primarchs to join him and fight the Emperor.
Is he like the head priest now because they used his writings and stuff?
Not of the Imperium. They used his stuff, but he now worships Chaos, and he worships all the gods.
He's ascended in religion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's still around, and the other Primarchs are hunting him down, trying to kill him. That's where most of the guys that are unknown, it's said that they're trying to find him and the other guys and kill them. Jagahati Khan disappeared fighting the Space Elves, the Dark Eldar, in a portal. It's rumored he's still around, but he's been gone for like 10,000 years. Some believe he can find the Dragon Balls in the warp and use his anime powers to set everything right.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. Conrad Kurz is dead.
Oh.
He saw a vision, and he let an assassin kill him because he believed that the assassination vindicated him, showed that the Emperor was wrong the whole time. Nobody really understands this logic.
I don't get that.
Yeah, he says he's vindicated because the Emperor killing him is a sign that the Emperor is a bad guy, even though
the Emperor killed a lot of people.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, it's not really explained really well, but he was like happy to die. I think he was just
He was just tired.
He was just tired. He blew up his homeworld.
Sheesh.
He hated his Space Marines.
God.
And so he just let the assassin kill him, basically.
Yeah. And those are the Night Guards.
The Night Lords.
Lords, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I understand that then.
Mm-hmm.
There's Agron.
Angron's still angry.
Poor Ron.
He worships the god of war, blood and skulls, and death, and the color red, and slightly darker red.
No.
He's still around, punching people in the face, killing people. He's a big demon now.
Okay.
Yeah. Corvus Corax is alive, but he's traveling through the warp. Oh, at the end of the Horus Heresy, he had a few Astartes Space Marines in his tower. He locked himself away for a year, and then he rode on his spaceship Nevermore, because he's a raven. So it's called Nevermore. This is
That's
spaceship.
pretty clever.
And he killed all of the the Space Marines and that were going to be made.
Mm.
And he wrote Nevermore. That's why I named it Nevermore.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's traveling in the warp, and he's mutated into a big bird monster.
Cool.
Trying to find the other Primarchs. He's a big raven. And since he's an animal now, that's why Leman Russ wants to yiff with him.
Stop it. God damn it.
That's why they all want to yiff. And Corvus, he's not into that. He just wants to kill the other guys.
Yeah.
And be left alone. But Leman wants to yiff with him.
If that's not what furries are like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Corvus, he is an animal now, but he doesn't want to be a furry, so he doesn't like Leman.
He wouldn't even be a furry. He'd be like a feathery. I mean, they have scalies for snakes, so I'm guessing plumy for plumage. I don't know.
Yeah. Next is Alpharius Omegon. Alpharius is dead. Gilman killed him.
Mm.
But maybe he didn't. Maybe he killed Omegon. We don't know.
Okay.
Because they're twins, so you can't really tell.
Oh, right.
But then we also don't know if he did kill him.
Mm.
Like, that's kind of murky. Did he kill him? Did he not kill him? We don't really know.
Mm.
Did he kill Alpharius? Did he kill Omegon? And then there's also the idea that Alpharius might be a good guy the whole time, but he's just spying on the bad guys. Spying with the traitors. Because he loves being a spy and all that.
Yeah.
But maybe not. They also might be secretly trying to clone Solid Snake. But maybe not. They're also...
What are they doing concretely?
They're also fighting the darkness from Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
But maybe not.
Stop! Are they doing anything?
They could also be fighting a civil war with other Alpha Legion members that are secretly good guys, but...
Maybe not.
But maybe not. They could also be fighting the Chaos Gods.
They could also be searching for the Chaos Emeralds.
They could.
But maybe not.
Yeah, they could also be trying to become actual Hydras to yiff with Leman Russ. But maybe not. We don't really know. They're kind of mysterious. They're kind of cool.
They could have also been...
They're kind of sneaky.
They could have been Horus in a trench coat.
They could have been two Alpharius and Omegons on each other's shoulders dressed as Horus.
And Horus was framed.
Yeah, he was
but
framed.
Maybe not.
But maybe not. That's not the case. But, you know, they're kind of into subterfuge, and they're kind of sneaky, and they kind of...
But maybe not.
But maybe not. Maybe they're just out in the open this whole time. Just
the best place to hide is in plain sight.
It's in plain sight, so they could be
but
everywhere. Maybe not. We don't really know. They're kind of secretive guys. They're kind of cool. You don't really know what they're doing. Maybe not, though. I don't know. They do their own thing, you know.
Maybe.
And now we have the best and boring award. You get to decide who...
I get to decide?
You get to decide who is the best Primarch and who's the lamest
The
Primarch.
lamest is that dumbass with the dumb head. Magnus can go die. I hate that guy. I hate him.
Bad character design. That's why he gets it.
Yeah, and also he's a failure.
Yeah, that's true.
He makes mistakes everywhere. I don't like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Yif guy grew on me, but I'm not gonna say it because I feel like that's gonna be cliched. I'm gonna say, I like the Caesar dude, you know, because like he lived through it all. He tried to do things for the better and help people, and then he saw everything just degenerated, and he's like, I'm done. Bye. Peace. He went home with his elf wife. I gotta respect that, you know.
He didn't go home. He's still trying to fix everything.
Oh, he's still trying.
Yeah.
Even better. So he's a good guy. You know, he seems like the only, like, one of the handful of, like, genuinely good guys that happen to be there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, him.
He's the best?
Yeah.
Gilman?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's a good person.
Okay, yeah. That's why they use them for all the box art and the marketing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's the good guy. They're the good...
Did I just pick the most generic person just now?
Yeah, you did.
Well, I'm a generic person, so...
You chose the basic bitch.
I'm a basic bitch. I like basic things.
And you say the worst is Magnus.
Yes.
Okay.
He's disgusting.
Magnus the failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also the guy that, like, fucked up to be a snake.
Oh, yeah. Fulgrim.
Yeah, I hate that guy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
like, you betray your brother. Well, not brother. You betray, like, your boss like that. He was a good guy. and then you go fuck off to Sex World.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It's
Yeah. And of course I would like the Caesar guy. I mean, I like Superman. I'm a basic person. This is what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I like basic good guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will respect. That's in law. That's set in stone now. Gilman's the best. Magnus is the worst.
Yeah.
I would personally say my favorites have always been Moterion and...
For my second best, I'd say the Hot Topic guy.
Corvus. Corax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was cool.
Okay, yeah.
Second best.
Yeah, I'd say my favorite's probably Mortarion and Perturabo.
Wait, which one was Mortarion?
The plague guy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Stinky boy.
Yeah. Perturabo was gross metal man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'd say the worst is probably Ferrus Manus, just because...
Wait, which one was that one?
He's the Iron Hand
Oh,
guy.
really?
Just because that's basically all he did.
Oh.
He just got killed.
But he was cool.
He was cool, but there's no depth to him. He's just...
The dude has iron hands. What more do you want?
His name is Iron Hands. His army is the Iron Hands. He has Iron Hands.
He's consistent.
And then he died.
He's better than Horus, who's changing names on everything.
Horus, yeah.
Horus.
Yeah.
He's changing his name on everything and is super inconsistent. He flip-flops on everything. Flip-flops on his own family. Yeah. And then this guy's like, I like iron. I got iron hands. I know what I like. I know who I am. I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to specialize. And you're mad at him?
That's why he didn't specialize. He sub-optimized. That's why he died. Because he only knew how to have iron hands. He only knew how to have big
He only knew how to
hands.
be a good Iron Man.
Yeah, that's why he died. If he had an iron head, he wouldn't have been decapitated.
Wouldn't that just be an iron neck, though?
Iron neck, I guess, yeah.
Well, yeah. If he knew how to make better friends, maybe he would have been decapitated.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder what happened to the Horus guy to make him turn.
I explained that.
What? You said it was
He was convinced that...
Oh,
right. He was convinced that the Emperor was a god.
Oh, right. I remember now. Yeah.
Or gonna become a god.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He should have just communicated. Just talk to your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the Chaos Gods? If you had to join one of the Chaos Gods...
No. You said they were eldritch horrors. I don't want to deal with that.
If you had to sell your soul to one...
No, I wouldn't.
Which one would you do? Which one's the least bad? Plague, pleasure, war, or fate, magic?
Why wouldn't I choose magic? I can do everything, right?
Okay. Then you'd be working with Magnus.
Fuck me. Screw that. Alright, I choose, I'm not gonna choose pleasure. I'm not gonna choose plague because that's stinky. So I guess war. I guess I'll do war.
Blood for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne. That's their motto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very direct.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that. You know, they know their branding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll come in. I get to choose a weapon.
Yeah.
What weapon would I have?
Big axe.
No, I don't want, like, direct confrontation. I'm Noodle Arms, remember? That was my nickname in middle school. Noodle Arms. So, do they accept snipers? I could probably do snipers.
I mean, if you killed a lot of people, they'll accept anyone.
Sure. I'll be a sniper.
Okay.
In their army. Because I can't hit people.
Okay.
Weak arms.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you have it, folks. Wasted my girlfriend's time
you
for
really did.
About an hour.
It is kind of late. I was getting tired at the end, but you know, I'm really glad that we had this experience and that I learned about Warhammer, and now I can finally understand why you're doing coloring, painting little figurines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it now. Yeah. I get the appeal. A little bit more. Yeah. Not completely. Just a little bit more.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.